Good morning. Welcome to this webinar, EqHub and Projects. My name is Andrea Walland. I will be moderating this webinar. The time box we've allocated today is 30 minutes. I'll start by introducing my colleagues. We have Øyvin Høynes, who's a subject matter expert and advisor for EqHub in offshore Norway. Øyvin Høynes, service responsible for EqHub and related services. And with us from Equinor, we have Øyvin Høynes, who's the product owner in Equinor for EqHub. First and foremost, the agenda today is for us to take you through how EqHub works in projects and operations today. Øyvin Høynes will share how Equinor is using it currently and which ambitions they have. Øyvin Høynes will wrap up with a summary and recommendation. If we have time, we will do a Q&A session at the end. This recording will be made available also to all registrants to this webinar, and those of you who are participating today, you will receive an email. We will also make this webinar, the recording, available on YouTube by tomorrow. And if you pay attention to your lower right side, there's a question tab. So you don't have to wait until the end of the webinar. You can ask questions throughout this webinar, but please use this question feature. We will chime in and have a look there. But all questions asked that are of relevance to this topic that we're discussing today will be addressed, if not in the webinar itself, in a follow-up correspondence to you. So we will keep track of all questions raised. If there are questions asked that you find interesting and you have more or less the same question, instead of writing the same question, you can upvote those questions that you would like to have addressed. That would also make it easier for us during the Q&A and afterwards to prioritize what to answer. So we'll give the word to Øyvin to start with status and projects.
Yeah, thank you, Andrea. I will start with some facts in relation to the use of EqHub, the new generation that came last year. There are more than 5,000 users from 291 vendors, 15 contractors, 56 package providers, and 14 operators. It is submitted over 5,000 products and new revision from June 2023 to mid-August 2024. And about 4,600 products and new revision has been approved in the system. By new revision, we mean equipment that has been registered before and that has been upgraded to meet the requirement of NORSOK Set 018 that came in August 2021. There are also 28 companies that are using the APIs that have been established. In other words, there is a lot of activity in various projects and in operation in EqHub. So if you take the next one, please. Here we have some examples from ongoing project. In the spring 2023, Offshore Norway began supporting the Aker BP project on Yggdrasil and PWP and Fenris project. And in Hugin project A and B, approximately 600 projects have been registered in the past year. In the Valhall PWP and Fenris project, approximately 500 projects have been registered. And in the Verdun and Norne project, that is Technip and Equinor Subsea, around 100 projects have been registered. The number here that we show here is a new registration. And remember that much of the equipment is used across project and across operators. Equipment that has been registered in the Equinor project, for example, is also used by Aker BP projects and vice versa. And of course, a lot of reuse from earlier registration. It is still a little early to come to how much Aker BP projects have been added to the different tags in the project because they are in the middle of the project. But we can take some numbers from two specific projects that have been completed in the next foil. So in 2021-23, there was two projects from ConocoPhillips that use EqHub. And the result from this project was very good. Of the tag on the top side, they were pointed out as EqHub candidate, a delivery of over 95% was achieved, including approved deviations in the project. And this is a very good result, despite the fact that EqHub entered late in the project phase. The optimal implementation is to have EqHub requirements clearly included from day one, as well as to have a good follow-up and support for the supplier from the request and to the purchase order is set until the information is uploaded and approved in EqHub. This project also used the EqHub on subsea equipment, and one of the projects achieved just over 71%, including approved deviations, and the other project about 45%. The result must be said to be good, seen in the light of and the fact that the EqHub was new for the subsea delivery, both for the operator and the supplier. And then we can take the next one. So to succeed, the implementation planning is very important. The anchoring internally at the operator and in the contractors, both with requirement and the implementation work and in a different IT system, is very important. With reference to the foil with the number from Aker BP project, we start with a lot of information meeting with the Aker BP and Aker Solutions. And then we had a lot of meeting with the purchase responsible engineers and purchase responsible buyers in the project, and together with them, with the suppliers, where the requirement for the use of EqHub in the individual package were reviewed. In addition, all suppliers have received assistance and training if they have needed this. So, in conclusion, a high focus on information for everyone involved and clarification of requirement in the project and in operation is a key factor for a good implementation and use of EqHub. With this, I give the floor to Equinor and Øyvin, and thank you very much.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. My name is Øyvin Høynes. I'm working in the company Equinor. Thank you to Offshore Norway to inviting us to showcase on a very high level how Equinor utilize EqHub. For those of you who want to see details in how we use EqHub, I'm available to do that on a later stage. I think it's better to do that more in contractor, with each of contractor that we can show you to how we use that. We are 23,000 employees. We have 8,000 suppliers around the world, and you will find more information about Equinor on a global use in the link on the first page that I have on the picture right now. EqHub is one of several applications that Equinor use to receive and maintain life cycle information in Equinor facilities. I have the responsibility to be the product owner for EqHub in Equinor, and we are using EqHub because it provides accurate and up-to-date equipment data, creating a single source of truth for project maintenance and operation. And that means if a maintenance operation discipline by us want to see what's installed on a tag by us, by using EqHub, he will open up a link to EqHub ID, and they can find information about the product that is installed on that tag. And we have also an automatic process for obtaining equipment information. The EqHub ID must, if you use that, in an approved status. It's including a verification stage by us, and the verification will look for EqHub ID that is approved. And EqHub is an essential part of Equinor's digitalization strategy, enabling Equinor to make informed decisions regarding maintenance and repairs, and by that reducing risk for downtime and, as you know, associated costs by having unplanned downtime, but by not having information about the equipment installed on a tag. So it's very important for us that you as a supplier to Equinor project understand why we ask you to use EqHub, and by that delivering us a good information about the equipment installed in our installations. Next page, please. So this is one of the applications that I want to show you how this is connected to our installation. So if EqHub is used in project deliveries, the information is validated and approved. And the automatic process by using an EqHub ID, for instance, in ProCOSYS, the project commissioning system program that we have, it creates a relation between EqHub and the tag it is mounted on. And you will see on the red arrows at the bottom of this page, or the picture, that the product typical information, there is a EqHub ID 77,978,76, I believe. It is for a Simtronic fire and gas equipment. So if an operation and maintenance discipline click on that link, it will guide you. It will open up the EqHub ID portal at Offshore Norge, and it will read exactly what that equipment is. So there is a link between the tag in this STID program that leads you directly to the information that is necessary to operate this equipment. And you have also information about project-specific information on other documents on that picture also. And you will also see the manufacturer, and the manufacturer part number will be visible on this picture also, because it's necessary for the maintenance and operation to always be to know what's installed on a tag. Next picture, please. So EqHub is the preferred tool for standard equipment documentation to be used in Equinor. And we have ambitions that all projects should be able to utilize EqHub. And the requirement specification, which may also involve renewables, must be developed and mutually agreed upon in partnership with the supplier industry. And some facts and figures. I know Trond Øyvin had some facts and figures from how many users they have totally in EqHub. And the last line tells you that EqHub is accessible to all Equinor employees globally. And that means 23,000, but not all of us are interested in facts and figures about equipment mounted on a tag, but there are thousands that are interested in information mounted on a tag, and they shall be interested in what's on a tag because they need to know what's there. And since EqHub was introduced as a requirement in Equinor for equipment information in September 22, up till now there are more than 13,000 technical objects in Equinor that are linked to EqHub. And this number is rapidly increasing as new projects are delivered. And we monitor how much a contractor and a project and suppliers, how many of them can use and find and reuse EqHub ID in a project. And that is a thing that some of you will probably meet me later on, helping you to understand why we're using this and go more into detail in how this will help you and maybe give a better number that the number will be increasing as long as we are monitoring this, because it will help the operation and maintenance by finding correct information. So that's a very high level from me. If you're more interested in more in details, I invite you to contact me and give a more in detail presentation of this.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Øyvin. Now, Øyvin Nielsen, Service Responsible, will wrap up before we perhaps go into some of the questions that have been addressed.
Yes, thank you, Andre, and thank you to Trond Even and to Øyvin for giving input and information of what's going on a, of course, overall level in the projects. So, as you can see, it's a lot of activities going on, and a lot of projects are now using EqHub. What we can see in the EqHub systems is that over 100 modification projects and also big greenfield projects are using EqHub now in their projects, where they utilize and reuse documentation from EqHub and the data from EqHub. And as shown by Trond Even, you can see the amount of effort that is put into EqHub to also add information. There are over 300 suppliers now adding information into EqHub. So we're very happy with the increase of use, and we can really see that it's now starting to give benefit for the whole industry. And I guess you also saw Øyvind's presentation where he showed the use of EqHub, where Equinor now are on a constant basis extracting data from EqHub and link it up to internal system, utilizing the data, where thousands of engineers are utilizing the EqHub data. So we have implemented this now on a broad scale in the whole industry the last year, and it's still growing, the use of EqHub. So we are very happy with that from the Offshore Norge side, that we now have started to create success around EqHub. Also, what I want to say is that EqHub, it's an industry solution. So if there are, all people from this audience now, thinking about using EqHub or want to explore it and so on, please contact us. Go to this web address that you can see on the screen, and you will find contact information, and we will help you to start using EqHub. So that's something I would like to say. Also, when it comes to the APIs, now APIs is open for the system. So if you have internal systems where you want to enrich with EqHub data, which is the industry required data, you can utilize the APIs. So then you will do the same. Go to eqhub.no and follow the script to get access to that API. So I think that's what I would like to say, and I will say thank you to everyone for participating, and thank you to Øyvin from Equinor and to Trond Even, who gave us the update, and thank you to you, Andre, for organizing this. And then I guess there will be, I can see that there are some questions, so I guess you as moderator, Andre, will then take control of the questions. So if you then read some of them, and then I guess me, Trond Even, and Øyvin can answer some of these ones.
Yes, excellent. Thank you, Øyvin, for the nice wrap-up. We'll move on to some of the questions now. Let's see here.
You need to be a little bit clearer when you speak, please.
Sorry, we'll move on to the questions now. A question for Trond Even. We've noticed several IDs and several products under the same ID. Are there any cleanups done, or will there be any cleanups done related to this?
Yeah, we're working all the time if we find duplicate, but the best thing to do if you have a duplicate found, please send it to support@eqhub.no, and we will take care of it and check if it's true or not. So we are very interested to have feedback if somebody find duplicate or errors, of course. So please send to support@eqhub.no.
Good. Question to you, Øyvin Høynes, from Olav Åsrum. How does Equinor think in terms of EqHub and digital field workers? Is that something that has been discussed or that you are aware of?
Yeah, Olaf, I think maybe you're aware of that. Earlier, we had a link in ECHO that you could click on the SEMI ID. I'm not sure if the EqHub is on the same tag, at a similar tag right now. I need to check it up, Olaf, and I can come back to you, because you must get access to a EqHub ID on a tag similar to what you got on the SEMI ID on a tag, of course. But let me check it up and come back to you.
Great. And one more for you, Øyvin. How does EqHub fit in terms of its relation to SEMI? Will this be a supplement, a replacement? What's the plan there, if you can share anything?
I was starting to write an answer on that, because as I said on the presentation, EqHub is the preferred tool for what we call equipment information for what is standard equipment. SEMI is only now been used on valves on frame agreements right now. We want you to start or to stop using SEMI of all other equipment, start using EqHub, because it's a more accurate information you get by using EqHub instead of SEMI. SEMI is a model-based system. EqHub is a manufacturer part number-based system. It's more accurate to use EqHub. But I will write an answer to that also.
Great. Maybe the last question now, and again I say all questions here that are relevant will be addressed in a follow-up, so you will get feedback. There's a question from Ayman Sayed who's asking how Aker BP will proceed with Aveva and vice versa. And here we don't know the intricacies of the details around this, but you should be able to talk to Aker BP, Martin Brandsatter, for example. And one more question, Inge Hagedal, do you link EqHub point to ID or ID plus revision? I'm not sure how to answer this one.
I think there's some echoes here, but I think the link will be to the last version of EqHub, and then in EqHub you can then see other revisions.
Yes, there might be some technical issues on my sound here, so I think now we'll thank you again for participating. All questions relevant will be addressed. Thanks for Yngve, Trond Even, and Øyvin to participate as well. Very helpful, and thank you guys for joining the webinar. So we'll now conclude.